What happens if you set the tension on a Golf's timing belt wrong and then drive it for thousands of miles over a year? In my case, nothing happened, but it could have been really bad because I did set it wrong and I'd still be driving it if it wasn't for this comet. But when I saw the comet, I assumed it was wrong because there were no signs that I made a mistake. But he was absolutely right. I checked the manual and I tensioned it in the wrong direction. I should have rotated the tensioner counterclockwise. This mistake can happen because rotating it in either direction can cause these indicators to align. I should have paid closer attention to the instructions and to this arrow that tells you which way to rotate. That's why today, I'm going in to fix it. So I had to move just enough stuff to get to the tensioner so that I could check it and reset it. And I was hoping I could do it without draining any coolant. This one is really on there. Oof. No! Now I need a plug. Maybe I don't. I have an idea. And the idea was to get the coolant reservoir out of the way and reconnect the tube so that the coolant wouldn't drain out. There we go. So now that's out of the way. This holds down the power steering. This is probably a good time to tell you how I like these Black Forest Industries motor mounts. And they absolutely do transmit more of the engine vibration into the cabin, but I like them. I don't know if it's been 3 years, but it's been over 2 years. Oh, let me jack the engine up a bit. Now I only need to take off enough to get to the tensioner. And I remember this bracket here causing me some issues. Don't want to come out, do you? Yeah, this bolt is awkward to get to. I detail all this when I do my timing belt water pump video. I'll link to it. Today is just about checking and correcting. All right. Taking this out was fun last time. Maybe I took out this pulley and that made it easier. This is the accessory belt tensioner pulley. 3 mounting bolts. Boom. Let's come this way. No. Gotta be kidding me. Maybe I can take this off. All right, out the bottom it is. I've loosened this nut, and that's going to allow the tensioner to move. And there is absolutely an arrow there. But the tensioner didn't move freely. I had to take it out, move it around a little bit, and then it moved like it did when it was new. So after remounting it and working it back and forth a few times, I was able to tension it in the right direction. Now I'm just going to rotate to make sure all the timing is still good. At least one full rotation. All right, I think that's lined up. Let's go check below. And it lines right up. Little line and that little line. All right, so let's put everything back together. This quick endeavor to correct my timing belt tensioner took a little longer than I planned. I ended up stripping the head of an Allen bolt and having to go to the hardware store to get a new one. And I had to take out the tensioner to make sure it was moving properly, because if it wasn't, I was gonna get a new one. But I convinced myself that it was okay, so hopefully I'll get to the radio this afternoon as well. I did not want to redo this timing belt tensioner, but something that Latour sent me made documenting it by getting the right camera angles a lot easier. So this is the setup I use for most of my shots. My GoPro mounted onto a light, but sometimes I need to get into tight spots because right in there is where the tensioner was. When I take this off of the tripod, I can fit it in some pretty tight spaces. And when I separate the two, I can sometimes find a combination of angles that works. So let's say I do get it positioned and I can get a good shot, but then I have to put my hand in here with a tool, and then I lose line of sight, or the GoPro loses line of sight, or I create a shadow. So sometimes getting these shots is difficult. So when Latour reached out and asked if I wanted to test any of their work lights, the only one that seemed like it would be useful for me was this one. It's small, has a magnetic base, rotates in 2 directions, and it can fit in a lot of these tight spots. When I was recording this video, I had it mounted down there to get some of the angles that I used. This is an example of a shot that will be difficult to get otherwise. I have the light magnetically attached to the chassis there, and the camera wedged in underneath all these hoses, and I'll be able to get that shot right there. And this is an example of a shot I'll be using in my next video. So even if you're not trying to make a video, that light being so small will interfere less than a bigger light. I will be working on that back in there. That is part of the secondary air injection system. That'll be in the next video. So thank you, Latour, for sending this out. I actually did use it, and it's more durable than I thought. I dropped it several times when trying to set up. The LEDs there let you know state of charge, and there are 3 modes: bright, low, red. I don't see myself ever using this, but maybe. You don't have to put on the red light. Blinking red, and off. It's pretty compact. Now I can mount it on my head if I need to. I don't see myself ever doing that, but you never know. You got a name, cop? Latour has a wide range of products, and you can check them out on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description and in the comments. And if you'd like to follow along as I continue to work on my MK4 Golf, hit subscribe. Thanks for watching. Take care.